you how to make the easiest, fastest cheesecake recipe. And the bonus is that you can also make it low fat and dietetic if you'd like to. So here I have all of my ingredients. I have the 2 pie crusts, so you're going to get 2 cheesecakes out of this recipe. You can do it in half if you'd like and to get only 1. I have cottage cheese. I use the whipped kind. Farmer cheese. This is a 16-ounce pack because I'm making 2 cheesecakes. I'm going to use 4 eggs. I'm going to use a squeeze of lemon, a cup of sugar. If you like it a little sweeter, you can add another half a cup of sugar. I like it a little less sweet. And a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. After the cheesecake is baked, you have the option of making a little topping with sour cream, vanilla, and sugar if you'd like. But that's bonus, and it also adds some extra calories. So the best part about this cheesecake is that you can make it all in this one blender. Because my blender is a little bit broken and not great, I'm going to put half the ingredients in at first, and then once I'm done, I'm going to put in the other half of the ingredients to make the second cheesecake. So while the first cheesecake is baking, I make the second one, and here we go. So let's begin by taking half this container of cottage cheese, and I put it straight into the blender. If you don't have a blender, you can use a hand blender, and if you don't have a hand blender, you can do it by hand, but then I probably would exchange the cottage cheese for some sort of whipped cream cheese. Okay, half of the farmer cheese, I cut it in half, and I'm going to use the other half for my second cheesecake. Straight into the blender. Now, if I was smart, I would have put my eggs in first because I like the liquidy ingredients to be at the bottom, but I didn't pay attention to that, so I'm going to have to do that later. Half of my sugar, squeeze half of my lemon. The lemon is really important. Don't skip it. It gives the cheesecake a really good lemony, tarty taste. So I squeeze that in, and finally, I'm going to put in these 2 eggs. So let me check the eggs first. Okay, I'm ready to blend it. Now, the secret for this cheesecake is that you really need to blend this mixture for a very long time. Let it go for a full 5 to 7 minutes in the blender. Oh, one thing I forgot is my 3 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons because I'm doing half the recipe. So this is a big teaspoon. I'm just going to add that in. Okay, so 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and I'm ready to go. Turn your blender on, cover it, let it just run. When you're done, you're going to put that entire thing into this crust, and you're going to bake it for 35 minutes on 325. 35 minutes on 325. And that's it. Pretty soon I'm going to show you, once it comes out of the oven, I'll show you how to put on the sour cream topping. So now I poured the cheesecake batter that I've mixed in the blender into the pie crust. Notice how it fits in beautifully. And now I'm going to stick it into the oven and bake it for 35 minutes on 325. While your cheesecake is in the oven, you're going to prepare the topping. You're going to take about 1/3 of this container of sour cream. This is a 16-ounce container, so I'm using 1/3 of it, which is about 5 ounces. Okay? I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. When the cheesecake comes out of the oven, let it rest for about a half hour to cool off before you add the topping. When the cheesecake is almost cool, add half of this sour cream topping onto it, onto each of the cheesecakes. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stick the cheesecake back into the oven for 5 minutes, just to let the topping kind of gel onto the top of the cheesecake. So my cheesecake is finally out of the oven. Look how gorgeous it came out. It's so easy to make. I'm definitely going to win this competition because this cheesecake is delicious and it's easy and it's creamy and it's could be made low calorie, low fat. It has everything that you ever dreamed of in a cheesecake. I'm adding my topping. If you want to be super careful, you stay away from the edge, so you make it really pretty. Remember that I only want half the topping for this cheesecake because the other half is going on the cheesecake that's now in the oven, the second cheesecake. I'm going to put this one back in the oven for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to show you the finished product. Timer beeped. It's been 5 minutes. My cheesecake with the topping is ready to come out. And take a look. It is gorgeous. It is easy. It is yummy. I am so winning this competition.